All right, what's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to talk about how to not overthink your technical analysis and to prevent forcing trades, stuff like that. I like making these videos because although they're made to help you guys, they can also serve as reminders to me. Sometimes I'm not going to be on my game 100% of the time, and I've noticed, especially in the last couple weeks, like most of April, every other, not every other day, but every once in a while I've actually, seen myself starting to make these mistakes, which isn't great because I never really make these mistakes. But in the last like 3 weeks I've done this like twice, where I've sort of forced an entry. I think today was one of the examples, and then last Monday actually, was another example. So I think the biggest thing that I can say is, and I'll just get into it. We'll pick a random day. I'm going to teach you guys, a couple rules. Let's just go like day from March, maybe like the 19th. So, as you guys know, if you're in the premium by now, you should know that I trade 9:30 AMD, I trade 10 o'clock AMD, and I trade continuations. But let's talk about, what mindset you should have going into the day. So, what I mean by that is, here's how you prevent FOMO and overtrading. Ready? Ready? I'm about to give you the sauce. Here's how you do it. Before the day starts, 9:15, 9:10 a.m., go on 4-hour chart, go on daily chart, go on 1 hour, 30-minute, 15. Mark out any PD arrays. Okay, we have this low. Okay, we have this low on the 4-hour, and we're pushing through it right now. Let's go on the hourly. What are we doing? Oh, we're clearly selling off. We shifted this low, so we look very bearish. 30-minute wise, what do we have? We have an intermediate high up here. No crazy targets or anything right now, it seems. 15-minute, do we have any gaps or anything? Nope, we just have this wick up. 5-minute, now we get started. So as you guys can see, we had this huge sell-off, and before that we made this uptrend. We see, is there going to be a standard deviation level at the 4-hour? Yes, there is, so that's a good target for us. So we want to get a sell-off to there. It'll probably have to be a continuation since we don't have any obvious liquidity pools to retrace into right now. So, what do I say? Because the market hasn't opened, here's what I say. I say, okay, there are no good liquidity pools to the upside. I am only going to take a trade. That's the sentence. I am only going to take a trade if. And then you pick what key levels you want to see get hit. If this 30-minute gets tapped into, or if we get a 5 or 15-minute continuation of this low. I do not want a long because we are very bearish on the higher time frames. There would be basically no reason to long unless we were to somehow, inverse these hourly gaps. Basically, there's no chance I'm longing on a day like this. We're just too fucking bullish. So yeah, I want to say to myself, okay, I have my bias. I have my PD arrays marked out. This is the only high that I would take a short off of. Maybe we retrace and go. And then this is my main target. Maybe I'll take longs off this depending on the reaction. But I'm only going to take a trade if it's a short continuation to this low. If it's a retracing and short like an AMD to this low. Or if it's a long off this low. That's it. All right? That's all I'm going to do. And if I don't get a trade, then that's fine. All right? So here's open. We make this 5-minute. Okay, we inverse the 5 minutes to the upside. Boom, and now we come for this, hopefully this, this high right here, or this 30-minute. Haven't hit it yet. What time is it? 10:15, okay. Okay, we open this little 5. This is genuinely terrible price action. I'm surprised we haven't hit this yet. Okay, now we finally sweep it at 11:05. So a setup is finally valid, but I don't trade this late in the day. You do have this 1 minute. You do have this 1 minute setup that is potentially a good setup, but I think that by 11:10 we usually have lower probabilities of hitting a trade. This trade does end up working in your favor, but I would probably be off by then. But let's see, what day was this? March 19th. Okay, so if we go to March 19th, let's see what trade I took. See if I took anything. This week has been untradeable. A+ continuation setup long. What do you know? I actually picked this day out of nowhere. Why did I lose? Because I forced some bullshit. I said I'm only going to take a trade off this high or fucking a short off this high down to this target, or a continuation short to this target, or a long off this. And what do you know? The only trade that ended up happening was, and this is horrible price action, by the way. This is called staying out. Was this setup, which it happens right at 11:09, and I get off at 11:10 max because it's the end of the macro time. So, would I take this trade? Probably not. I'd probably be off by now, so it'd probably be a no trade day. And as you can see, this inversion is terrible. But then we get this leg up and we get a better close. So actually, the real entry would actually bank. And this will probably end up selling us off pretty heavy because it's the first PD array that we end up hitting. May even go to this low, but we'll see. I mean, it doesn't matter. But you get an amazing reaction off this. Why? Because I said I'm only taking a trade off one of these levels. And then if you go to where I lost, you can see it's because I didn't follow that rule. Just an example of me being a fucking idiot, right? Okay, now let's go to another day where I lost. 327. Frustrating L to end the week. It's funny, I actually picked that day where I lost, and I didn't even know that. So, we're going to do the same thing. What was it? 327? There we go. Okay, 4-hour chart. We are bearish as fuck. Once again, it's going to be very, very hard for me to take a setup here. We have this daily low. We have this 4-hour low. Or we have, it's a 4-hour low. We're opening a 4-hour gap. Hourly looks pretty untradeable as well. We have this hourly gap above, so maybe we retrace into it. Fair value gap, 30-minute chart, same deal. It's actually an intermediate, so that gives it a little more confidence to get hit. 15-minute wise, same deal. 5-minute, obviously we sell off here. We get this little uptrend before this sell-off. I'm assuming, yep, the standard deviation lines up with this daily low very well, so that means we're probably going to go and take it at some point. That's about it, honestly. Let's see if we make a pump up here, and if we get a little level down to this gap. We do. So the only thing I would take here, let's see, what time is it? 9:25. Only setups I would take here. Continuation shorts to this low. 9:30 AMD off this gap to this low. Or potentially a long off this low. That's it. Let's see what happens. Boom, we miss the low. Okay, we make this 5-minute. And then we tap this 5-minute. Another thing I've noticed is my setups are going to... Fuck, the 30-second is available. My setups are going to work a lot better when I go break even faster because I'm just trading off momentum. No internal SMT. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell if there's a setup here, sadly, because I don't have any 30-second, but these wicks are pretty bad. Okay, we make a new run up. If we could get this 1-minute inverse, maybe. Okay, boom. Okay, so this is a good gap. Obviously, with this displacement, I would probably get in at the middle of the candle. Stop would be above the candle at this point. Wow, that wick is fucking insane on this candle. Holy shit. Okay, so then I would probably go for a 1-to-1. We do have an SMT, which sucks. Partials, and then leave it for that drop. So yeah, once we get a displacing candle like this, I usually just don't want to see the high get revisited. Let's see what happens. Wow, what do you know? I'm a fucking genius. The obvious draw gets hit. Then let's see if you could long off this. This price action seems pretty bad. There's your long entry. Would I take this? Probably not. But let's see if this works. Not bad. Oh, I just realized you could have taken this as well. You could have taken this. Probably would have been a 30-second as well. Stop below the low, and that would have hit. So actually, never mind. It does work. Because you have this 1-minute gap. Get inversed. Stop below the low when the 1 gets hit. Pretty easily, actually. Okay, cool. So, yeah, that is... what do you know? Now let's go. Let's see what I took. Friday, 27th. 5-minute continuation with an SMT. I tried to short, I don't know what time this is, 10 a.m. AMD model. What? What time frame is this? What is this, bro? 10 a.m. AMD. What? What does that mean? What trade did I... Oh, I took the lower 5 because I'm a fucking idiot. That's why, bro. So, yeah, I took this bullshit instead of this. Just being a fucking idiot. Yeah, I mean, that's just the truth. I said I want a continuation. This continuation happened way before this. But to be honest, the reason why I probably didn't take this is because I wanted to wait and see if we could go and push this. Didn't follow my rules. Didn't listen to what I said I would take. This is also a BPR, which makes it way more higher confidence that it's going to hold. As you can see, it fucking rips. Even if you want to be a bitch and be like, oh, bro, what if you fucking blah, 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 blah. Then you could be like, okay, well, I'm still thinking it's going to go to this low. Fuck you, 1RR. So, yeah, that's just an obvious thing of, wow, okay, let me go pre-market, let me mark out these levels, and let me say I'm only going to trade off these levels or if this happens. And what do you know? I just saved myself 2 losses in the last month, which I've had about 7 losses in the last 2 months. I think I have 4 this month right now, and I had 3 in March. So, and funny enough, as bad as April has been for me, I'm still green. I think I have 7 wins and 4 losses in April, which is a very below average month for me, but still a good month, you know. But yeah, it's not like, you know, an unprofitable month, obviously. But, I mean, this just goes to show, like, make that shit simple for yourself, bro. Like, the reason why you're fucking up is because you're overthinking, and what happens a lot of the times is people get impatient, and then a move happens without them, and they get scared. Bro, what you can literally do, and I mean this, if you're not a continuation trader, literally remember how I said I marked out the 30-minute and then I marked out this low down here for this day? Watch this. Oh my god, I'm actually aura lossing right now. Why isn't it letting me do this? Where is the fucking thing? Oh, because I'm in replay mode. I'm tripping. But what you can do is you can... Let me just delete this. Let me leave out of replay mode. Let's say, for example, I had something at this high, you know, for right now, and I'm like, I'm going to take this trade. You know, once we hit Asia highs, right-click, add alert. Yeah, crossing, value, message. High has been hit. Apply. Boom. Leave. Then go leave. Do that on the low as well. And then you can go and chill. You don't even have to be at your monitor. If you're not trying to take a continuation, which I think would be dumb, why would you not? But dude, that is the whole point I'm trying to argue, guys. Trading can be so much fucking easier than you think. Alright? You're overthinking this shit. And this has happened to me. You know, this has happened to me a bit. Actually, I feel like I'm not trying to like LARP. I'm not trying to like be all emo and shit, but like the last couple weeks for me with school about to end up, you know, I've had finals, I've had football practice a lot. I've just been really stressed out, and and it's definitely taken a mental toll on my trading a little bit. And that's what has gotten me to make these small errors, in my opinion, which can be frustrating. But at the end of the day, bro, that's just part of the game. Sometimes, you know, a lot of trading happens to be mental, and you know what you're dealing with outside is so important, and that's one of the risks that I take of trading while in college. You know, it's a busy time, but this just goes to show, bro. Get on early. Get on 9:10, 9:15. Do not wake up and roll out of bed onto the charts. Get on early. Wake up even earlier, maybe 8:30, so you have an hour of being awake. You know, maybe go for a walk. Get yourself awake. You know, fucking take cocaine, whatever you need to do, and then mark out your shit and be like, listen, these are the most efficient liquidity pools. I'm not going to take a trade unless it's a continuation to one of these or if it's a reverse off one of these. All right, that's it. All right, I'm not going to say anymore. I don't want to overcomplicate. God damn it, it's dark as fuck. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. That's literally all you have to worry about. All right, peace.